Hey, in today's episode, I'm going to be harvesting some bee honey from this honey super. It's time. Stay tuned. Hello, welcome back to Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen. This is my apiary. I've got some hives with busy bees in them, and I've fed them with 2 parts water, 1 part sugar down here in this bucket. And I just laid some straw on there because the straw floats and the bees can go in there, climb on the straw, get down there, and suck that sugar water out and go back to the hive and make some honey. But their honey they're making with the sugar water is not going to be the honey I'm going to be using. Today, I'm going to be harvesting the honey that the bees made from the nectar flow from all of the plants and flowers that produced the nectar. And that's the honey we're going to take. But we're going to leave some for them, and I'm feeding them to get them ready for winter. Yeah, we're going to take the rest of the summer to let them build up their stores and give them plenty for the winter months. So I'm only taking a little bit, not all of it. And that's a kind beekeeper. Don't take all their honey. So I've got an audience here with us today. We have my geese. They're kind of hang out with me to see what I'm up to. And also the chickens are hanging out around me to see if I can drop any tasty morsels for them. And of course the goats. They're just being goats. They like to be around me. I need to put on my beekeeping outfit because I really don't want to get stung. Okay, my hive tools I'm going to be using today is my bee brush to gently get the bees off. I'm not using any smoke. We're in an extreme fire watch right now, so I'm not using any smoke. I'm going to try to do this without chemicals, without smoke, and just be as slow and gentle as possible. I also have my frame lifter where I can go down and lift the frames up gently, clean the bees out, and then this will pry the frames out, because the bees like to collect what they call propolis, and they like to seal everything in their hive. They like to control the environment in their hive and not let the environment control the weather inside. So what they do is they tap into trees and plants, and they take the sap and the fluids from trees and bring them into the hive and make a propolis. That is very nutritious stuff. It's very medicinal. Now, I brought a locking tub to put the frames in to keep the bees out of the honey frames while I'm working with the honey frames. Now, I also have another honey super here that's empty. It has no drawn out comb in it at all. So I'll be replacing some of the frames in here with some empty frames. But the key is I'm only taking full frames that are full on both sides. So I might not get very much out of here, but I'll get something for our farm use and leave the bees the rest. So I'm going to re-put it back together and keep the hive just as it is. And we'll stay tuned for another video because we're going to do a hive inspection and do some other things with the hives. And then in the next video, I'm also going to do a separate show on extracting the honey from the frames. So let's get this taken apart and get some honey frames into this box. Remove my telescoping cover. Yeah, it's glued. So we gotta pry it loose. Ooh, there's bees up there. Hi, girls. Just be very slow and gentle. Okay, this is disappointing. Just looking down in there right now, there is no honey in these top frames. But the bees sure are being defensive. So we're just going to put it back together. We will get no honey this year. Of course, this hive has only been here on the homestead for a couple of months. So I'm going to be very careful to put this back on and try not to squish the girls. Put the telescoping cover back on. Well, that was a fail, but not completely, because I do have bees, and I'm disappointed I didn't get any honey this year, but I am feeding them. I'm going to try to get them through the winter, and I'm going to be wrapping my hives too. So I guess I won't be doing a feature video on extracting honey. I did that in previous videos. I had one honey extraction that was a total failure, and another one that was more controlled because I did the actual honey extraction in the centrifuge or spinner inside the RV, where I could do it at leisure and relaxing. I'm gonna go ahead and leave that video for you right here and let you enjoy that one. And we'll just couple it with this show. Welcome back to Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen. Yeah, the bees are on the outside of that hive because that hive I took a honey super off of, and I got some full frames of honey. So we're going to take it into the RV and put it in the centrifuge and work with honey indoors this time without being accosted by bees. The reason why they're gathered on the outside is because I use this product right here. This product, you just spray it in the hive, close the lid, and it clears all the bees out of the hive or out of the honey super, so you can take the honey super out and remove the frames and put them in a separate container. I put them in this tote, bee free, to get them away from the beehives and over into a screened area where I'm not going to be accosted by bees. Yeah, these girls are a little put out right now. And there's my stack of honey supers. I'm going to go ahead and let the bees clean up some frames that don't have much honey on them. I'm not going to bother extracting them. So we're just going to leave those, and we'll get them winterized and put away for the winter. Now, you could typically spray this on what they call a fume board. It's like a top cover with a spongy layer on it, and you spray that spongy layer and put it on there for a day or two, and it just drives the bees out of that hive. And that's what you can typically do with this product. So I got a couple of nice full frames of honey. We're going to go ahead and extract them. I've got my honey comb, yep, and then I'm going to go ahead and rake and break open the cap, the seal caps. These are wax caps, and these wax caps can actually be harvested, collected, and sold to the cosmetic industry. Oh, that smells good already. Okay, we're going to set this down here and turn it and do the other one. And this is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Spilled some honey on there. Can't let good honey go to waste. Okay, we'll put these lids on this. This is very nice and relaxing in here because I'm protected. We're just going to give it a gentle spin. And you can already see the honey being thrown against the outside walls. Turn the frames around and spin them out the other way. It's down here. You can see how that's loaded with honey. We're just going to flip the centrifuge around. So nice, no bees being harassing me. There's not a bee in here. Yeah, I should have done this in the first place. That first honeybee extraction was a huge failure. And then I'll try to harvest what I can out of that pitcher down there, and we'll go from there. Also, don't spin it so hard. Oh yeah, we got the deliciousness of the honey collecting at the bottom. Okay, I'm going to close up the trailer, close all the windows, and tomorrow afternoon I'll come in and finish rendering the honey. I want it to be nice and hot in here so the rest of the honey melts off of those frames into the bottom, and then honey will be, the viscosity of the honey should be fluid enough to be able to strain out through these baskets. I got two strainers. I've got a coarse one and a fine one, and we'll just strain the honey through there and filter it, but not pasteurize it. My honey will be all natural, unpasteurized, and we'll just filter out all the wax caps. I won't have enough to sell to the cosmetic industry, but I'll have something. Yep. So let me close the windows. And tomorrow evening I'll come out and we'll process it because it's supposed to get warm tomorrow. All right, we're done. I'll be back in a video second and we'll go ahead and filter this and pour the honey out into the, oh yeah, it's pulled to the bottom. I'll probably get about 2 jars out of it. That's typically what I get out of each frame. So I only got 2 frames out of that one hive because the bees weren't too busy this year. Actually, that hive is the only one that produced honey. And I harvested 8 frames earlier, which turned out to be a disaster. That's a 10-frame honey super, so I saved 2 frames for later. The other frames left in there today, they just started building them out or pulling the wax comb out, but not filling them at all, so there's nothing in there. But it's the end of the honey flow season. Now I'm feeding the bees. And check out my video on my bee feeder. Yeah, so I'm just going to let this set in the heat of the RV, in the sun. Yeah, I'm dripping. And we'll be back tomorrow. Okay, it's the next day. Let this set in here in a nice, warm, close-up RV. so the viscosity of the honey would change and I could get it to flow easier. But I'm going to try and experiment too. I'm going to get some help. We're going to get this honey filtered through my double basket here and into the container, and we'll take it into the kitchen and decant it into the jars. So let's get this job done. And I'll show you an easy way to clean this up. Easy. Okay, I have my tote. Remove these. Set them aside. I won't need those anymore. And take the frames out. We spun the honey out, and look how well the honey spun out of there. And this one also. And then we're going to take this out. Lift the cage out of there, and we're going to take all of this and set it in front of the bees and let the bees at the beehive clean it up over at the beehive. We'll even set this over there. But I really want to get that honey out of there. So this is the experiment to help me with that ant. I'm going to put a heat lamp in there, heat that up, and give the honey a chance to become thinner and runnier, so I can extract the much of the honey as I can out of this vat. There we go. Now I'll just let that heat up, and we'll wait for the honey to become thinner, and we'll start pouring. Okay, the heat lamp has been setting there for an hour, and it really did change that viscosity. I really should be able to get that honey out of there easily. So I'm going to remove the heat lamp. And then I want to put this down underneath of it, since it's such a sticky mess. Because I'm going to have to tilt the vat forward to get the honey out of there. And I don't want to be dripping honey all over the floor. So, here we go. Open that up and let it flow. I'm going to utilize the heat lamp again. We're just going to get all that honey through as much as we can. Instead of sitting there and holding that, I clipped it onto the gate. We'll just let that sit there and let the rest of the honey flow through, filter through the screens. What I'll do is I'll take that bowl of honey into the house, then I'll take the baskets and all the other contents for this centrifuge out to the bee yard and let the bees clean it up. That way I don't have to worry about cleaning it up. They'll do the job. They'll do it better than I can, huh? Okay, we're done with that. The heat lamp worked very effectively and efficiently. Now I'm just going to put the baskets right here and then carry this out to the bee yard. But look at the amount of honey I got out of here. Look at how much I got out of 2 frames doing it this method. Oh man, I'm gonna go put this in the kitchen. I'll be right back. Okay, let's take the vat to the bee yard. Actually, I changed my mind. I'm gonna take it over and give it to the bees in the flow hive. Here you go, ladies. Food galore. Feast. And with this, I'm just going to set it here, open it up, and the bees will find what they need and clean everything up. It's probably too late in the evening for them to do it, but I'm going to make sure they have every advantage to be able to, yeah, get this yummy stuff. Here, let's just put this way. There we go. And now I gotta go shut the trailer up because I'm done with the trailer right now. We're gonna go into the kitchen and see how many jars of honey we got out of 2 frames. That's incredible. Yeah, I think I'll do that from now on. Hey, let me know in the description or let me know in your comments what you guys think about my new innovative way at extracting bee honey in a safe environment, yep, the RV, and also using the heat lamp in a screened area so I don't have to deal with bees. That last time I did this was horrible. I gifted some of that honey away, but this batch of honey I'm keeping for my own inventory. So let's go into the kitchen and see what we can get done. Okay, let's carefully decant the honey. Scrumptious. Oh my. I don't think I have enough jars. I'll have to go get some more jars. I do have more. Oops, I need 2 more jars. Okay, 2 more jars. Try to get every last drop. Let's put it in the microwave just for a couple of seconds. In the meantime, I can put the lids on these. Okay, this is how much honey I got out of 2 of those frames, that last rendering, because those were the last 2 frames from the previous time. that I didn't take out. I only rendered 8 frames, and that was a 10-frame honey super. So now you have an idea, when you're not distracted or accosted by bees, how much honey you can get out of 2 frames. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you can get about 3 jars per frame. 4 jars per frame. Let's call it 4 jars per frame of these little jars. So, gosh, nice. This is my first successful rendering without mess of bee honey. Put all my hive tools back and away. Well, bummer. That was a little disappointing, but I kind of halfway expected it. Take this honey super and put it back over here. Let's see, let's put that right there. And that's it. Yeah, go put this back away. And I guess that'll do it for this time. I hope you guys enjoyed that clip that I included on how I extracted the honey last time, and got several jars from a couple of frames, so it worked out beautiful. I'm Jerry Hansen, your host. This is Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. We're a frugal homestead tucked up in the Cascade Ranges of the Pacific Northwest. Like I said in other videos, I'm not ashamed to show my triumphs or my failures, and this is one of the failures, but it was just because the nature of it. That beehive was the one I rescued out of the garage and put it there, and they seemed really strong, and I thought for sure they were going to give me some honey. The other hives are a little weak. I'm really concerned about them, but I will do my best to get them fed and get their numbers built up. In my hive inspection coming up, I'll do that. I can't do it today. We've got thunderstorms moving in, and we're in extreme fire danger right now, so we've got to really watch out. So please stay tuned to new videos. You could do that by subscribing. Hey, give us a thumbs up, leave a comment or a compliment, or just a thank you for sharing this journey with you. Please subscribe, click that bell icon. Be safe, always be kind. We'll see you guys in our next adventure. Bye-bye now.